in my life I will have something pure.
Although it's now arguably best known for its out-of-place American accents and inspiring Mel Brooks parody Men in Tights, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves was massively successful upon its release, becoming the second highest grossing film of 1991 after the hotly anticipated Terminator 2 Judgment Day, with a soundtrack that went platinum. I first saw it on VHS in my early teens, and although I will be the first to admit that it isn't perfect, it's still one of my favourite films of all time, and it's definitely better than certain later attempts.
He's not you.
Are you sure?
Let me know in the comments if you want me to tackle this clustertuck of a movie at some point. However, the version I grew up with not only wasn't the original cut of the film, which I'm making an upcoming video about, but it was also not the version that was shown in the United States, as 14 seconds were cut from the British release so that the British Board of Film Classification, aka the BBFC, could give it a PG rating over here. It was even shown on the Warner Brothers version of a PSA that I had on VHS as a kid, explaining why certain films were rated PG.
This stands for parental guidance and means that parents may wish to check the film before showing it to their children. If it's an action film, it might have some limited violence. If it's romantic, it might have some sexy scenes or very brief nudity. It might also contain some milder swear words. Video certificates are there to give you the chance to make the right choice. Thanks for listening.
British cinemas are far more strict than those in the US. I believe I might be thinking that the ratings in the States are more like guidelines and that anyone of any age can be taken to see a film as long as it isn't rated NC-17. In the UK, however, they literally won't let you into the screening room. It's a legal requirement. The film was rated PG-13 in the States, but the equivalent UK rating at the time, 12, would have prevented anyone under 12 from being able to go. Studios therefore have a history of cutting a few seconds to get a lower rating, such as action scenes being edited in The Hunger Games in 2012 so that it could get released as a 12A in British cinemas, allowing its target audience of young teenagers to attend. The 15-rated original cut was later available on home media. Calvin Dyson also did a really interesting video on edits made to Bond films in the 90s to appease classification boards if you want to find out more. I have seen both versions, and here's everything that I believe was cut. This shot of a prison guard holding up the dangling severed hand after it's been cut off. We knew that was happening in the movie, but we don't actually see it. This line one of Nottingham's soldiers says when attacking Marion.
I've never seen the breasts of a noble woman.
This shot of the Sheriff of Nottingham spreading Marion's legs apart whilst he tries to assault her. And, my favourite of all, Will Scarlett reacting to catapulting Robin and Azim over the wall by saying, "Blimey, he cleared it," instead of,
"Oh, me, he cleared it."
Needless to say, I think the latter is much funnier, although I remember that it was hard to work out what he was saying because American actor Christian Slater had clearly never heard the word blimey before. He says it's like it's two separate words, but that may have been so that they could lip sync it correctly. I'm pretty sure all of these moments are pretty self-explanatory as to why they would call for a higher rating. You can read about why they gave the film this rating on the BBFC website. As a quick aside, I do find the justification for these different ratings really interesting, and if you are a parent and want to know what exactly may be inappropriate for your kids in these films, then this website lists the exact reasons why they received their ratings for more recent releases. Please let me know in the comments if you think I missed anything. The BBFC are also known to request changes to sound effects and violent scenes, such as squelching and crunching noises, so I may well have missed something like that. There is also an extended cut of a lot of reinstated Alan Rickman scenes that was released in 2003, which I will discuss in an upcoming video. There was also a PG version of this cut when it was initially released in the UK on DVD. However, in 2009, UK home media releases, such as Blu-ray, released the 12 cut. There are two possible reasons for this. Firstly, whilst no one under the age of 12 can buy a DVD or Blu-ray with that rating, a parent or guardian can buy it on their behalf. As younger children are unlikely to hold the purse strings, there is therefore little reason for them to appease the BBFC. After all, it's not as if they haven't already made their money back from this film, so they don't have to worry so much about casting the widest possible net. The second, and in my opinion more likely reason, is that the BBFC re-evaluated the PG cuts and changed their stance on whether these changes are enough for the rating. Honestly, I'm surprised that an attempted assault scene was allowed in a PG film at all. Not to sound like a stick in the mud, but I don't think that this scene is appropriate for children as young as 7. From what I've read, it sounds like it was a controversial decision at the time, so releasing the 12 cut seems like a better idea anyway. If you'd like to see me discuss another film that had a rocky production history, you can watch me dissect the painfully awful Ringo Starr and Harry Nilsson vanity project, Son of Dracula, right here. See you soon!
How do I know what to put on the air? Put on a half hour of commercials like the Johnny Carson show. Or better yet, why don't you put on another monkey segment? I mean, they're all the same.